So, for the last month, I've been working on putting together a list of the top 10 movies to see before you die, UNK style. Naturally, I couldn't just rely on my own opinion for this, otherwise, it would be laced with epic fantasy films and dance flicks, superhero movies, that sort of thing. So, instead, I asked my movie buff friend Travis Robinson to send me his top 10 list, and classic film connoisseur Dr. Sam Umlin to send me his as well. I narrowed down the list from there and added a few of my own flick picks. Then I took it to my fellow UNK students and staff. They gave me their opinions, a few colorful quotes, and so here it is. Da 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 da! I give you, ladies and gentlemen, the top 10 movies to see before you die, UNK style. Coming in at number 10, we have Stanley Kubrick's sci-fi classic 2001: A Space Odyssey. I've never seen this movie before, but everyone I've talked to said that, like most Kubrick films, it's rather strange. But Kubrick must have done something right because 2001 has been called culturally and historically significant by the Library of Congress. A very generous friend of mine, Caleb Barth, told me that it's a thinking movie, and it raises a lot of questions about humanity and the path that it takes. So, if you want a movie that's actually going to make you think instead of just leave you drooling and dumbfounded, sounds like this is the one for you. Number 9, we have Halloween. Sure, the real origins of the slasher film can probably be traced back to Psycho, but Halloween basically spawned its own genre of horror films. You have Jamie Lee Curtis, and I'm going to steal one of Travis Robinson's quotes here, as the original Scream Queen, and the psycho killer of all psycho killers, Michael Myers. If the shadowy lighting doesn't get to you, then trust me, the eerie music will. I dare you to find one person who has never jumped during this movie. In my opinion, that's what makes it a good horror movie. At number 8, we have The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance. If you're going to make a top 10 movie list, you have to have at least one John Wayne film on the list, even if he isn't the star. Once again, I assume most of my fellow students haven't seen this one. But every person I talk to who has gone on and on about how great it is. Dr. Frankenlein called it a classic Western. Carlene Jurgensen said it's one of those where you really, really hate the villain and you're just rooting for the underdog the whole time. And from what I've been told, the twist at the end is really going to take you by surprise. So there, now you have to watch it. Number 7, we have da 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 da, Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark. So, why choose just one Indiana Jones film? Why not the entire saga? Well, minus the fact that every movie can stand on its own, except maybe Temple of Doom. Raiders is the one that started it all. You get George Lucas and Steven Spielberg together and you know the result is gonna be phenomenal. It has one of the best opening scenes ever, not to mention the, obviously, unforgettable theme music, the quick-witted humor. In my opinion, archaeology never looked so good. Oh, and a little piece of movie trivia. Those of you that have seen The Last Crusade might appreciate this. Indiana actually was the name of George Lucas's dog. There you go. Number 6 is Back to the Future. First of all, who wouldn't want to see what their parents were like in high school? I mean, really. Fending off improper advances from your own mother is more than a little unpleasant, but outrunning bullies on a skateboard, that's pretty cool. And how many other movies could possibly pull off making a DeLorean into a time machine and having it run on something called the flux capacitor? Not half bad for an 80s movie. Kicking off the top 5, we have Star Wars in at number 5. George Lucas does it again. You don't have to have seen all of them, but one of the original 3 is necessary. I really can't put it any better way than Travis Robinson did, so I'm just gonna take his quote and leave it at that. He says, "If you haven't seen Star Wars by now, I really don't know how you function in life. The moment you're born, they should just set you down in front of a TV in the hospital and pop in Star Wars. That's how important it is to see this film." So there you go. So saith Travis. At number 4 is one of my personal favorites of all time, The Lord of the Rings. Epic. The books were epic, the movies were epic, and you can't separate this trilogy into individual films. It's like one big movie that just goes on and on. Peter Jackson really did an amazing job of bringing Tolkien's world to life. He used the most breathtaking cinematography and perfectly cast characters. He completely changed filmmaking with this trilogy. What you really need to do is just set aside like 10 hours and get all 3 of the extended editions and just watch them back to back to back. Then you will get the full effect of the Jackson Tolkien world, and trust me, it is so worth your time. Number 3, The Dark Knight. Here are the top 3 reasons to see this film. Heath Ledger, Joker, Oscar. If you still need more reasons, I don't know, how about the fact that it was the biggest box office smash of all time? The action scenes will completely knock you right out of your seat. An A-list cast, which includes Christian Bale, Maggie Gyllenhaal, Morgan Freeman, Michael Caine, Aaron Eckhart. The entire list of darkly complex, multi-layered characters, a killer script, of course, there's the most mind-blowing Joker portrayal of all time. How's that? Would that do it for you? Yeah? Okay? Yeah. Your number 2 movie is, of course, The Wizard of Oz. And credit for this one goes to Dr. Nita Unruh. It wasn't on my original list. I don't know how I missed it, but I did. And when she noticed that it wasn't on there, she pointed it out, and of course, I instantly knew that it had to go on there. If it's not for the quotable lines like, "Toto, I don't think we're in Kansas anymore," or "I'll get you, my pretty, and your little dog, too, ha 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 ha," or of course the songs, "We're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz, and somewhere over the rainbow," and I don't remember how that one goes. The Wizard of Oz is really just one of those films that every person would see if they only had a brain. And finally, the number 1 movie you must see before you die, according to UNK, is Casablanca. I guess we're all just a bunch of hopeless romantics in the end. I'm ashamed to say I've never seen this film, but after reading about it and listening to everybody else rave about it, I need to. And so do you. Several UNK students and faculty called it the classic love story. And to quote our own Dr. Ralph Hansen, "There is nothing like Casablanca. It is the most perfect film ever made." What else can you say after that? Here's looking at you, kid. And there you have it. The top 10 movies to see before you die, UNK style. I suggest hitting up the video store as soon as possible.